Hello, everyone. It's time for, I guess, what's supposed to be Resident Evil, but this looks more like Tim Burton to me.
This isn't Wrath of Cortex.
No, not at all. We tricked you.
Oh, how dare you? Oh, well, yeah, because Wrath of Cortex would have been so much better, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
You
my
can watch the
god,
Wrath of
this is
Cortex
Tim
commentary
Burton.
already. Just go to the fucking Crash 3 commentary.
Hey guys, how are we doing? Thanks for inviting me back. This is fun.
You weren't. I thought you were joking. This is Tim Burton. Jeez.
Now,
I thought I dreamed him up.
I get a lot of people when I'm watching like streams and stuff. A lot of people think this intro is really weird for Resident Evil. I can sort of see it. At the same time, I really like it. It's very well put together, and I'm a sucker for this sort of.
It's the same with that bit in the Deathly Hallows. It's like it is out of nowhere, but it's cool. So who cares?
Well, in Deathly Hallows, there was like a child's fairy tale book that they had to read, so they sort of took some artistic liberties with the visual representation of it.
Was that one
And
of the
this is a
Horcruxes? I
storybook
forget.
too, though, so it's okay.
I also do appreciate it because it gives a little bit more flavor and personality to the area they're in, because this is doing kind of somewhat of the Resident Evil 4 thing where they're in Europe, where, it's a village and, not in a city or anything, but
And
it's
there's
also kind
fish
of like...
in the sky.
Yeah. So the one in 4 is just kind of like a place you're at, and there's no real context to much of it, so this makes it feel a bit more lived in.
Yeah, they did do a lot more in Resident Evil Village to give the location you're at some actual like history and character, which is unfortunate given the timing because like obviously this is a result of the game being made in the middle of a pandemic, but they couldn't really do accents or languages at all. So everyone just sounds like they're from Midwest America.
Yeah, I did think that. I did think that when we were playing. Yeah, I did think that.
I mean, then again, in 4, when they did the accents and the languages, they got it wrong. So,
Hang on a sec. Okay, can we?
Maybe bullet dodged.
Are we allowed to talk about spoilers in the first 3 minutes of the game?
Wouldn't
Yeah,
be
we
the
do it
first
every
We
time.
do it all the time.
Okay, right.
We do it all the
So
time.
I've it's just 5 seconds ago clicked with me. Did Mother Miranda write this book?
I don't think she wrote it because
Because it's predicting the future.
It-
So
it sort of does, yeah. What I think...
Oh my god, that poor baby.
Oh no, Ted, have you seen the Chris Redfield?
I have, but I didn't know that would be more attractive than the actual
Focus,
baby in the
focus,
game.
Lewis. Finish your point.
Okay, so
I
what
was gonna say poor Mia because she's got an ugly baby.
All right, given the history of the village, it's clear that Miranda and her 4 lords have been around for quite a long time, a generation or more at the least.
at least 100 years, I think.
Yeah,
It was
I-
100 years ago because Miranda's daughter died due to the Spanish flu.
So the
Okay.
way these things tend to go, my theory is that the villagers themselves wrote a story about Miranda and the Lords, but they wrote Miranda and the Lords as the witch and the 4 beasts to avoid it being so direct. I think Miranda just has enough of a sense of humor to really appreciate that her and her 4 lords got
Yeah, someone wrote a book
sucked
about
into
me.
some folklore fairy tale. So
I was gonna say she's got a bit of an ego, just kind of sitting there reading her own book about herself and being like, "Oh no, it's fine. The baby doesn't mind. The baby loves it when I talk about myself."
you see,
Could also be a means of control because you make, the witch and her lords, the scary people you're supposed to, listen to or just not mess with.
you see frustratingly little of Miranda, but what little you do see, you can extrapolate some personality from her. So I do appreciate that. I think she could have been more of a presence in the
I'm
game.
glad you could. I couldn't.
Well, I have an eye for character detail, so I catch this stuff a little bit more easily than the average player. But
I mean, I don't. I know I'm jumping the gun a bit here, but I do feel. Oh. Oh.
Ethan doesn't have a face, so he's going to be replaced with a question mark the entire kit. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I just realized... Just replace it with a different face every single time.
now,
I thought we just jumped into a creepypasta. I thought you guys had tricked me. It's like
Right.
this is not Resident Evil 8. It's actually scary SpongeBob game.
so
Here's also a popular mod where they replace that image with something else.
Oh my god, great.
So there's a lot of little stuff that you can do when you're in Ethan's house here. A couple files to collect for completion and a challenge.
Drop the baby.
Oh.
Drop kick the baby.
It's the only way to save her.
Eat the
You're
baby. Put the
safe.
baby in the pot. Cook it up. Nice tender flesh.
Okay, so like there is a challenge that you can do for points here, but it's really like a nothing challenge. Basically, you just go into the baby's room and kick the ball that you find there into the office that's attached to it. Boom.
Can I
points.
tell a quick story related to that exactly? So
Yeah.
Right ahead.
when I finished the game on stream, and then I was like, I kind of wanted to, because it's not the longest game in the world. I wanted to get a bit more replay value out of it and get some of the unlimited guns and everything like that. So I started again, and I noticed that one of the easy point gains to add to your total was kicking the ball around. I thought the study was the messy room.
I did too. I made that exact mistake.
I spent half a fucking hour kicking that goddamn ball around the landing, getting it stuck in every crevice possible, restarting the level over and over again, and it's like, oh no, you just kick it into the room that's immediately next door connected to it. I was very upset.
I made the same mistake.
Because you're thinking it's tied to an achievement that you have to put your work in.
Exactly.
I guess.
And he said, but when you walk into the
Not this time.
into the messy room, he says like, oh, I need to clear out this room so I can like work in here. I was like, oh, that must be the study then. I mean, I don't know.
I think they wanted to make the challenge something that people might naturally do on their way through, since there's stuff you can do with the baby in here.
Yeah.
So, like,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is with all the Nicktoons right now?
I'm timing.
I think someone's excited for the brawler.
no,
Yeah, I know. It's
This
like,
is convenient timing more than
actually-
anything else.
Ryan
Yeah.
did not know about the Nicktoons Smash game before editing this, so.
Well, that's crazy.
Not
Something I
please
do like
move.
about this part, and this is okay. Actually, I don't know if you've now missed that bit, but there's a note where they talk about her birth and how much she weighed,
She is a massive baby.
and and that's the thing. I think
Wait,
that
how big was she?
14 pounds.
Yeah.
And like,
Wait.
That's big.
that is
Okay,
so,
hold on.
That's like double the average. And like the second we read that, Mick McCarris was sitting next to me, and obviously she's had 3 kids. So the second we saw that, we were like, something's not right. And I think that's a really cool detail, because that's something that not everybody would pick up on. But we saw
Yeah.
straight away. We were like,
okay, so I was
oh.
considered a very large baby when I was born, and I was 10 pounds, 9 ounces.
14 pounds is alien heavy. Like it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's
Like,
it's
honestly,
sack of
her legs
potatoes.
should not be left if she gave birth to a baby that large.
The fungus must be really dense if it's that heavy. Jeez.
So, okay, I'm going to need a refresher because I didn't play these. Is this the girl we were trying to save in Resident Evil 7?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes and
For
no.
some reason.
Yeah, as Lewis said yes and no, but technically no is
Now-
also part of a spoiler, but functionally yes.
Because Mia's face was so expressive in Resident Evil 7, her face is probably the one where you can see it the most. But on a lot of the scenes in Resident Evil 8, it seems like the face animations were hand done rather than motion captured. And
for the better.
but it's so weird. There's some scenes where it's clear they motion captured the faces. And then there are some scenes like the one where Chris meets Mia later on, where they just have Muppet mouths, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the first
Well,
first cutscene when she's talking on the boat to the camera, it's like if she
Yeah.
opened her mouth any wider, she'd eat the camera. Oh look, it's the worst character in the game.
Huh?
Wait, why did Chris shoot?
I hate Chris in this game. I usually love him. I think they really did a disservice to his character in
I
this.
think, in terms of how he handles the planning later in the game, yeah, there's a lot of shit could have been avoided if he was a little
Now,
more open about what he was doing.
To be fair,
it's not even that- it's not
someone
even that he's
straight
not
up tells
open.
him that.
It's
Straight
not
up-
even that he's open. It's not even that he's not open. It's like he's an asshole as well, and it's like he's kind of he's straight and he's blunt in the other games, but he's never a dickhead. Like I didn't understand it. Didn't
I
get it.
can sort of see why he might be in a really bad place during this game, because this is a bit spoilery, but the BSAA has been up to some bad shit, basically trying to cover up their part in causing the Baker incident. If you read the file that comes with the deluxe edition, that's what Zoe essentially figures out, is that the BSAA is trying to cover the whole thing
And
up.
the BSAA were Resi 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the
5 and
they're
6.
the United Nations org that Chris has been a part of for a long time.
Yeah. Okay,
but
gotcha.
he's obviously like really disapproving of how they're handling that situation. So he's effectively gone rogue to try and handle the situation himself. But
still could have told Ethan. I don't
yeah,
get it.
Yeah.
But and people tell him he should have told Ethan. But like, I understand why he's not in the best mental emotional place, because this entire situation very strongly mirrors the situation with Stars in Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, I guess he's been screwed over a few too many times, yeah.
It would be more effective if they hadn't already done that whole thing with him getting drunk off his ass in Resident Evil 6 and him resolving
I was
that.
going to say, it's kind of just a repeat of what was happening in 6.
They kind
Jeez,
of
I don't even remember that. I played 6 when it first came out. I haven't touched it since.
Basically, he loses an entire squad, gets like emotionally wrecked over it.
Oh, yeah, and then he's in the bar. I remember. Yeah, I remember.
And Pierce and the rest of his team have to like get him out of it, and he very reluctantly goes along to China.
Oh, yeah, Pierce. I forgot about him.
Yeah, so how can you forget Pierce? He becomes the
Pierce is
goddamn
yeah.
prototype at the end. You can play
Yeah.
as the goddamn prototype in a Resident Evil game if you're playing as Pierce.
Oh, great.
No, prototype combined with Infamous because he has lightning powers. It's the craziest shit. Like 6 is a weird game and not at all the direction Resident Evil should have gone, but it has some great stuff buried in it if you're willing to stick it out, you know. Like, for example, you stick out Chris Redfield's entire Call of Duty campaign of blandness, and you get the best final boss in the game.
But when you say that, are you saying good by Resident Evil 6 standards or just good boss? Because I don't even remember.
When you set aside your expectations for Resident Evil 6 is a really good action game. A bit
Yeah, actually, do you know what?
haphazard.
Yeah.
It's haphazard in construction, but I really love
I suppose
the
all
combat.
the bosses in Resident Evil aren't exactly the best points, I suppose, now that I think about it.
Considering how charred this motherfucker is, I was surprised the film lasted that long.
How did Ethan
The
not
game
die
survived a
here?
bomb. So
Did they not want
Well, how do
Ethan
you
to
thi-
die here?
how do you think Ethan survived? Spoilers at the end of the game.
Oh, yeah. So he probably did die. I forget. Yeah, he probably did already. Yeah, you're right.
Wait, what?
Okay, so again, spoilers for the end of the
Yeah, I
game.
know. We're getting all the
I'm
boxes checked.
so confused. I don't even remember what happens in
Okay,
7. Doesn't
Do you remember?
You see that? Do you see that
Ethan's
shadow? Do you see
girlfriend-
that shadow in the snow? That's you. That
Yeah.
shadow
I
is
think-
you.
okay, I
Ethan
think it-
isn't real. Ethan's not real. You are playing as a shadow.
Okay.
Oh wow,
So
it's Kingdom Hearts.
That's why.
Ted.
That's why you are reading from the Village of Shadows. Because
Okay,
everything
Ted.
here is a shadow.
Ted, do you remember how in Resident Evil 7 Ethan had his hand stapled back on?
Kinda.
And there was a similar optional sequence that I kind of skipped where he could also get his leg chopped off and
Oh, with
sort
Jack,
of
I remember that.
reattach it by dumping goop on it. Well,
The magic healing spoon.
yes. Essentially, that's a plot point. Ethan's body isn't normal. He heals much faster than a regular human, and he can reattach his limbs. In fact, there's at least one mandatory situation where you have to do that again, complete with the keeping your hand in your inventory as an item.
I love
Always
that's
makes me
best
laugh.
bit of the game. Best bit of the game.
Yeah. That moment gave me a primal fear of the big heavy levers in this game. I can't help but tense up every time I try to pull one on replays. But anyway, the upshot though is that Ethan, his body isn't normal, and the reason for that is that he essentially died at the beginning of Resident Evil 7 and was brought back by the fungus. It's not clarified whether this is something that Eveline did on purpose, or
Jesus,
if
that
it's
scared
something,
me. Fuck's sake.
or if it's something
And
that happened by
Eveline was
accident.
one of the people
Was the
in
boss-
the
was the
Scoopy.
boss.
She was the
Eveline
small
the
girl.
small girl who was the final boss, who turned into a giant fungus mutant, and who was
Okay,
also the
and-
grandmother.
So
I forgot about that dude. I forgot about that dude running into the dark, and that scared the shit out of me.
Okay, so I thought that there were multiple endings to 7, and you could like not save the girlfriend.
Yes,
slash
but
wife.
the one where
The
you
canon one is you save me.
the one where you save Mia is the canon ending, because that's
And
also
wasn't
the
she
ending
like
where Zoe
weird
survives.
and evil in that?
Well, no, she
Yeah.
was possessed. She was kind of taken over by Evelyn. So
Okay.
we thought at the end of the game, so we stopped Evelyn, everything's hunky dory now, and then Resident Evil 8 happens.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, but at the same time, though, she was still working with a dodgy corporation and lying to Ethan about a babysitting job and
Not
everything.
just-
So she
not
was
just-
still a bitch.
Not just a dodgy corporation, a criminal corporation.
Well, there you go. She's still a
there's-
bitch.
There's information about the connections in the Zoe file that comes with the deluxe edition, and they're essentially a criminal outfit that reached out to Miranda to help her experiment on the mold. And Miranda was just like, yeah, okay, you can have some of the mold, and maybe something will come of it, but Evelyn wasn't enough for Miranda, so she just sort of gave up on the connections.
I really felt like I was playing a Metal Gear Solid game when I booted the game for the first time, and I got like the Zoe report.
The Zoe report, yeah.
Like getting
It's,
getting some supplementary material done before
it's
starting
not
the game properly.
as big a wall of text as the one in Metal Gear Solid 2, but it's pretty close.
T-virus.
Oh my god! Like the one Sons of Liberty might as well have been a fucking novel. Like how long
It was,
is.
yeah, it was essentially a novella. Or at least,
Sons of Liberty probably would be quicker to read as a novella than
I mean,
it would be
in universe.
than to play it because of voice acting.
I know, but playing it is entirely the point. That's entirely the point, though.
In universe, in the shadow, what was it called? In the Darkness of Shadow Moses. It was supposed to be a book that some reporter wrote about the Shadow Moses incident. So after all of the government's efforts to cover up Metal Gear Solid 1's events, someone exposed it anyway, and that led to some political complications, which in turn led into Metal Gear Solid 2. It's complicated stuff, and I don't even remember half of it.
Welcome, good hunter.
I love the look of the village with the castle over the back, over
In
the
fact,
background.
shall we just say right now that the RE engine fucking rules? Because it really does.
Oh yeah, no,
It's a
this- I'm
bizarre
playing-
ass awesome engine that can do so
Yeah.
much diverse
this
and
is-
cool shit.
Also, this is our first full PlayStation 5 playthrough.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Busting our
Oh, they
PS5
bring back
cherry.
the best part of Resident Evil 4. Nice.
Yep.
They
yeah,
finally realized,
so yeah,
yeah,
now that-
why did we
now-
never bring this back?
Yeah, but now that we're in the inventory, this is a joke run. I have an infinite ammo hand cannon, not hand cannon, Magnum. So we're
It's
we're
it's
cruising
about
through
a 16-part long commentary, and it's just a commentary, not a let's play, just for the
Yeah,
sake
so-
of getting a move on. Sure.
And talking
Ah.
about Sonic being rained on that looks like semen.
So
That's what
gross.
we're doing this for.
They,
We're
they,
not-
they should have the context for that by the time this video goes up. So
Yeah, it's all right.
maybe not.
Lockpick.
so anyway,
Oh, we're a master of unlocking? Oh, man, awesome.
No, actually not, because we have to keep getting more locked.
So anyway, we're not going to see much of the tension that this game brings to its combat encounters because Ryan is going to be steamrolling them with the
Yeah,
best
he's
gun
just
in the
missed
game.
another. He just missed another moment there. Good going, Ryan. Oh,
Yep, there's one, though.
there's another one.
But
Yeah, they were smart because they have one scripted for both exits in case you take one or the other.
That is clever. That is clever.
like, okay. I will say that Resident Evil 8 has a very good New Game Plus mode, though. That was something that Resident Evil 4 had as well. But it's true. But it's true in Resident Evil 8. In fact, there's several things that you can't actually obtain until your second playthrough, including this gun. This gun is the second Magnum model, and it does not become available from the shop until you've beaten the game.
Yeah, because you only have the one Magnum that
The Wolfsbane,
takes so much fucking money to upgrade.
Yeah. And then half the upgrade levels for everything don't become available until like literally right before the final boss.
No, the funny thing about that is the ammo capacity refill glitch or exploit is still in this game.
Yeah, they
you
included
cannot
it.
upgrade. You cannot upgrade your capacity of the Magnum until your second playthrough. They knew about it.
Oh,
Yeah. That quirk of Resident Evil 4 where if you upgraded ammo capacity, it would also give you a refill. They kept it in on purpose, but they also made sure that you couldn't use it for the Magnum on your first playthrough. So fair play.
I didn't realize you. Oh, yeah, I guess you do refill the Magnum when you upgrade it in 4. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
yeah, that was it's kind of a deliberate thing. If you were adamant on using the Magnum, you would not reload it until you got the upgrade.
Yeah.
I remember that game spitting ammo out at me constantly.
Yeah,
so-
but
For Magnum,
not
really,
Magnum ammo.
no.
Magnum ammo was extremely rare.
Also, how did you miss?
This conversation.
he
No,
went
maybe
to the,
hold
to
on.
the Greedo
Hold
school
on.
That's
of
fair.
We
No, that's-
literally just talked about Ethan's status at this point. Maybe he didn't.
No.
Ethan
I reckon.
recovered.
Look, if you're holed up in the darkness there, and someone surprises you by opening the curtains, and then all of a sudden your eyes have to adjust to the light, and your you're already kind of nervous. I get that he missed. I get it.
No, it's a shotgun, and there's only one way to aim. How
And
did
the
you miss?
dude looks about 300 years old. I mean, give him a break.
Fair, fine.
I'm surprised it lived this
This
long.
conversation is extremely funny on New Game Plus because he's like, "Do you have a gun? Please tell me you have a gun."
Yes, I
Here,
hope.
take my piece of shit.
He lies just because he wants to pawn that one off for the merchant money.
Hey there, Ethan. Welcome to rural Spain.
You're going to be using the dinky little starter pistol in every cutscene, by the way, even if you don't have it. So get used
We're
to
not in
that.
Spain, are we? Now that I think, no, we're not.
Oh no, reverse Batman.
Are we? Oh, okay. I didn't. I
And the
thought that
were-
was 3.
And the werewolves never do this kind of
4,
shit
I mean.
again for the entire game. It's weird.
It's still
Oh, there's
is
Batman.
bizarre to me that this game has werewolves and vampires in it. Like it's freaking 2007.
I mean, that is
mean,
one.
they
that is one of the things I do have problems with when it comes to how the game is presented. I suppose.
Well, we can
get
definitely
into
start the
that.
next part. Yeah, because that's
So
that's
you
pretty
better
juicy.
stay tuned, otherwise you'll miss
damn
what
right,
we
yeah.
think about that if you care.
Yeah, spoil everything else in the next part that we haven't already talked about here.